We tend to think that great communication is some kind of magic, right? A natural talent some people just have. But what if I told you it's not magic at all? It's architecture. It's something you can actually design and build piece by piece. So let's take a look at the blueprint together.
Oh, yeah, we have all been there. You say one thing, but the other person hears something totally different, and all of a sudden, a simple chat spirals into this huge misunderstanding. It's so frustrating. That gap between what you mean and what actually gets heard, that's exactly the problem we're going to tackle today.
Look, if you want to fix a machine, you've got to know how it's supposed to run in the first place. Well, communication is no different. So before we can start building better conversations, we need to really get our heads around the fundamental blueprint of how a message even travels from one person to another.
So the first thing you have to get is that communication isn't just a one-way street. Not at all. It's a loop. It all starts with the sender, who kind of codes their thought into a message. Then that message travels through a channel, like talking or an email, over to the receiver, who then decodes it. But here's the most crucial part: feedback. That's when the receiver responds, letting the sender know, yep, got it, and this is what I understood. Without that feedback loop, you're pretty much just talking into the void.
So what could possibly break this perfect little loop?
Well, it comes down to one simple word: noise. And listen, I'm not just talking about a loud truck driving by. Think about psychological noise. Let's say you've had a really terrible morning. A simple question like, "Are you done with that report?" might sound like a flat-out accusation. That's noise. Or how about semantic noise? When an engineer starts talking about optimizing the back-end API, they've just built a wall of jargon for the marketing team. It's like handing someone a blueprint written in a language they just can't read.
Okay, so we've got our basic blueprint down, but now we're going to uncover the most powerful and honestly the most often overlooked building material in our entire communication toolkit. This is the stuff that gives our words their real strength and meaning. All right, so picture this. On one side, you have the literal words that come out of your mouth. And on the other, you have how you say them, your tone of voice, your posture, your facial expression. When you're talking to someone face to face, which one do you think really carries the weight of the message? Is it the words themselves or everything else? The answer is kind of staggering. When we're talking about feelings and attitudes, a full 93% of a message's impact comes from the nonverbal stuff. That's right. The words themselves can be as little as 7% of the whole equation. It means your body is basically shouting while your mouth is just whispering. So what exactly makes up this massive 93%? Well, it's your body language. Are you leaning in and open, or are your arms crossed and you're leaning back? It's your tone of voice. Think about it. The same words can be a simple question or a serious accusation, all depending on your pitch. It's your eye contact. It's even how close you're standing to someone. All of these signals reveal the true story behind your words. Okay, so this is all really fascinating, but how do we actually use this stuff? Well, to become better communication architects, we need the right tools, so let's open up the pros toolkit, the 7 C's. Think of this as your go-to checklist for building any message, whether it's a quick email or a huge presentation. So the first 4 C's, these really build the foundation. Your message has to be clear, so there's absolutely no room for someone to get the wrong idea. It needs to be concise, which means getting right to the point without a lot of extra fluff. It should also be concrete, using specific facts and details, not just vague ideas. And of course, it has to be correct. Accurate info, no errors. That's just table stakes. Now, the final 3 C's are what really complete the structure. Coherent just means your message is logical. All the points actually connect to each other in a way that makes sense. Complete means the other person has all the information they need to understand you and, if necessary, take action. And finally, courteous. Being respectful and polite makes sure your message isn't just received, but that it's well received. Big difference. Okay, so now you've got the blueprint, and you've got the professional toolkit. But as any architect will tell you, building in the real world means you're going to run into problems. So let's talk about how to overcome the common barriers and really become a master builder of communication. These are the things that can put cracks in even the strongest foundation. You've got physical barriers, like a terrible video connection. You've got psychological barriers, like our own biases or emotions. Then there's those semantic barriers, again, like industry jargon. And in our global world, this one's huge. Cultural differences in how communication is even interpreted. A master builder sees these challenges coming and plans for them. So what's strategy number 1 for making your structure rock solid? It's not about talking, it's all about listening.
I'm talking about active listening. That means you're not just sitting there waiting for your turn to talk. You're paraphrasing, saying things like, okay, so what I think I'm hearing is, and you're asking questions to make absolutely sure the blueprint in your head matches the one in theirs. Strategy 2 brings us right back to that incredibly powerful 93%. You have got to make sure your nonverbal signals are actually lining up with your words. I mean, if you say, I'm totally open to feedback, but your arms are crossed and you're frowning, which message do you think they're really going to believe? Pay attention to your own signals and start getting better at reading the signals other people are sending you.
And finally, a true master builder never ever uses a one-size-fits-all approach. You have to adapt. The way you explain a new project to an engineer is going to be totally different from how you explain it to the sales team, right? Tailoring your language, your style, and even the channel you use for your specific audience, that is the hallmark of an expert communicator.
So here's the bottom line. Great communication isn't some kind of magic. It's architecture. And guess what? You are the architect. You've got the model, you've got the tools, and now you know how to handle the obstacles. So really, the only question left is, what conversation are you going to build better first?